I don't know where we were when we stopped, because, you know, that was my job calling me. When the phone rang, and you know what? Every year I have the same goals. We've been through this before, that to be self-employed. Then I say, I don't want to be my own, you know, I want to be self-employed, but I don't want to run my own business. I can't have it both ways, can I?
Okay, no. What you want to be is independently wealthy, so you don't have to do anything.
You know what I'm saying? But people want it both ways. They say, I want $1 million, but I don't want to work for it.
Oh, you know, even if it's not prosperity, a lot of people say, I want a husband, but you don't want to deal with what comes along with that. You know, having to make concessions and having to do certain things. You just want to be able to say, I'm Mrs. So-and-so or Mr. So-and-so with the, what do they call the trophy wife? You know, you want what you want, but you don't want what comes with it. And with prosperity, and even with spirituality, comes knowledge. If knowledge, you got responsibility. Everything you have responsibility is the ability to respond to a situation in a positive way. So whatever it is that you want, you've got to know that you've got the ability to do it. And there's a scripture that I read the other day, and I liked it so much, it resonated with me. It said, he performs that which is appointed unto me to do. Even though I think that I may not be able to accomplish a certain thing, if I let it go, and just let the universe work through me, or God, or whatever you want to call it, if I let it go and turn it over, it's done. And it's done so much easier. You know, even with your children. Your children come to you and say, Mama, tie my shoe. And then you go to tie the shoe and they're bending down trying to do it themselves and struggling and carrying on. And if they would stop and let you go on and tie it, it would be so much easier. If we would let it do what it do, it would be just fine. But we want to make things complicated. Everybody wants to make, if you go on the internet, you find all types of techniques, how to do this instantly, how to do that, and they make it so complicated. If you just be still, be quiet, and be still, and know that the power that is within you is the same power that created the stars, the moons, that governs the tides, and everything else. You have the power within you to do anything you need to do. And the time is now. The place is here.
You know, you say that because I was watching. You know, I'm on the internet like all these people I be trying to find a secret formula to success where I don't have to work, and I just do a couple of mantras, and the money start coming in the mail. You know what I'm saying? And it ain't happened yet.
How is that working for you?
It ain't really working for me.
Okay.
But I know one thing that what's his name, Eckhart Tolle, and I met the cat a couple of times. A long story. Nice guy. And Eckhart Tolle says he went to some prosperity church or something. This is, I think, in the New Earth. If you listen to the New Earth CD, I think it's New Earth or Power 9, one of the two. He went to one big old prosperity church or somewhere. He says, oh, so many books and so many classes and so many stuff. And he said, you know, really all you need is like to concentrate on one simple breath or something like to that effect.
If you can control your breath, you can control your life. That is one of the things that I teach at the teaching center is breath control. Because with breath control, you can, there's no metaphysical or esoteric or new thought technique that you can do that is more profound than the breath. I can't expound on it publicly, but trust me, the breath is the key. He was right about that.
No, I say that because, like me, you see the people like yourself, all the mystics and whatnot, and you know everybody know Deepak Chopra. Some people think he's a huckster, what they call him, husker, you know, making money. But I think he has some utility and some value. The point is that I met him too a long time ago. Long story.
Okay.
And I think that you see that stuff, but trying to be quiet. I like to run my mouth. People like to have the radio on. They like to have the radio on all day, or the TV on all day long. But to sit there for even 5 minutes, you are till you quiet the mind. It takes like 5, 10, 15 minutes, and you just like going crazy trying to be quiet.
You need medication, boy.
Well, I think a lot of folks have that problem, though.
It is difficult to. That's why you concentrate on one breath. If you concentrate on the inflow of that breath, and concentrate on holding it, and then concentrate on letting it go, that quiets the mind. It brings the mind and the body in sync. And that is what helps you. You may not be able to meditate but 3 minutes. 3 minutes is a long time. I got news for you. You know the best place to meditate? When you get up in the morning and go to the bathroom. Because that water is there. The first thing that the Spirit of the Lord blessed was water. The water is right there. You got water in your shower, you got water in your tub, you got water in the Facebook, you got water in your commode. Water. Sit there for 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Concentrate on your breath. You start your day in a whole different way.
Yeah, I think if I don't try to be, I try to do it a couple of times and I got off the wagon or whatever. The point is that trying to be quiet. If I don't do it in the morning, I don't care if I get up at 7, 6, or 5 or 4 in the morning. I'm crazy waking up. It ain't happening once I get going. It ain't happening.
That's it.
There's too much stuff.
Once the world comes in,
yeah,
you got to get the kids up. You know, parents, they got to get up. They got to go to work. They got to get the kids ready to go to school. They got all this to do. If you can just add 5 extra minutes before your household gets busy and quiet yourself and put your intention out that this is a wonderful, my little great-grand, she's 3, and she said, it's a beautiful and sunny day. I love my neighborhood. You know, if you can just plant something positive in your mind first thing, and you will, you know, what's his name, Abraham. If you can hold a positive thought for 17 seconds, it will in turn attract another positive thought, in turn another positive thought. And what will happen is within a short period of time, you have elevated your vibration.
yeah.
And those people that are negative will be not in your vibration. They'll be over there looking with the other miserable people. But you will attract someone who's positive, who's life-affirming, and who's going to be a benefit to you, or you can be a benefit to them. Try it. It works.
Yeah, I've seen that 17-second stuff. My problem is that I can't sit still, be quiet for 17 seconds to get to the 68 seconds because my brain is just, I hear that chatter in my head. It's just gone. It's just gone.
Your mistake was, I can't.
I can't.
Yes, you can.
I can't. I need help. I say I can't because what I'm trying to say, cannot just me, Mark Sims. I'm talking about the people watching the video. Can they do it all by themselves, or do they need help? They need help. I mean, i.e., you know, people. You have a teaching center. There's other mystics and
yes,
Oshuns out. Ain't too many Oshuns out there, are there?
Yeah, there's a lot of Oshuns.
They are okay.
Yes.
But anyway, I'm saying they need help. Because they had tried to do it by themselves.
Not so much help, but you just need direction.
Okay.
You need direction. Let somebody point you in the right direction. You know, and if you can see somebody who's accomplished it, then that means a lot because then you know that you can do it. What's possible for one is possible for us all. God is no respecter of persons. You know, I always, when I'm reading people, because you know I do that, I'm psychic. When I read people, one of the first things that I say is there's no secret what God can do for you, through you, to you, as you. You are the key. You are the mystical, magical key that you're looking for. It's you.
You know, I got to go to work. And one day, hopefully,
you know, the sheriff paid me to stay home.
Yeah, I know you've been retired for many years now, right?
Yeah, 11 years now. I can't believe
beautiful.
it.
Now
it's wonderful. Retired from the sheriff. I will never retire from my spiritual work.
Yeah, but what I'm saying though is that we've been ourselves for so long. Yeah. Anybody in this thing, I don't care if you're 10 years old or 80 years old, you've been. And to try to change. Now, of course, it may be easier when you're younger than as you get older. The harder to change you get older. Because you get teach your old dog new tricks, your old self new tricks. But trying to change because you've been yourself so long. And to, you know, do these spiritual, like you said, the breath and the 17 seconds. Come right ahead.
Can I say something? You're not being yourself when you're not being the best you that you can be. You are being less than yourself. You know, I was out the other night. I do get out occasionally. And this band sang one of Sly Stone's old songs. And it was, I want to thank you for letting me be myself. Do you really know who you are? If you knew who you were, the potentiality that you have within you, you don't have to change. All you got to do is be you. If you let all that otherness go that you've been indoctrinated with, you've been told that you were impotent, that you were the wrong color, you had the less than right education, you were not worthy, that you were a second-class citizen, or whatever you've been indoctrinated into that made you believe that you were less than who you really are. You are a divine expression of God. You are a spiritual being having a human experience. If you know that and you know yourself, if you know yourself, that you won't have to change. You can be happy who you are, knowing that the real you is being revealed moment by moment. And it's not hard to just be still and let it do.
Yeah, that's all, Lady Oshun, that's all well and good. We done watched this video, we done got fired up, and tomorrow, or later tonight, we're going to go back to the same old habits, and the same old consciousness, the same old feelings, the same old... It takes time.
It takes
But how much time does it take?
I don't know, I'm still working on it.
That's the whole point. You're always working on yourself, right?
It works if you work it.
Okay.
If you don't work at it, it won't work. I could go back there and lay up in my bed and watch TV 24/7 and just give up. But what good is that? God gave me a beautiful gift. He gave me life. He said, and Christ said, I came that you might have life and that life more abundantly. The Christ within me tells me, get up, do something with yourself, enjoy your life, do something for someone. If you feel bad about you, then go out and do something for somebody. You know, no matter how bad you think your life is, somebody else is experiencing something worse than you.
We are right down the south side of Chicago. Some people consider where we are right now the midst of hell.
Woo! Hallelujah.
The midst of hell. You know, I think the Bible talking about, though I walk through the valley of shadow of death, that's right down the street from here. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe we had a hostage standoff with the command center on the corner last week.
It's a sometimes it gets a hot mess out here. So people say, you know what, I make $10 an hour. I make $20 an hour. I make $7.50 an hour, whatever the minimum wage is, $8.50 an hour. I ain't nothing. All that stuff you said is nice, but tomorrow morning, I make $8.50. I make $10.50. I make $20.50, whatever. I ain't nothing.
There are masterminds who make nothing, who have given up the desire. Desire is what causes your misery. Desire, you know, the Buddhists know that attachment, Jesus taught attachment is what causes your misery. It's wonderful to want something, but when you are concentrating on the outcome, that's where you become miserable. If you just say, okay, this is what I want, this is what I'm going to do, I have stood on the docks of McCormick Place in sub-zero weather making less than $5 an hour. And I had it in my mind, this is not what I'm going to do the rest of my life. And one change brought another and another and another until I got where I wanted to be. You can't give up. No matter what your situation is, know that this too shall pass. Whether it's good, bad, or indifferent, you're not going to experience it forever. Nothing is forever.
Lady Oshun, it was a great show already. I hate to spoil it by asking you for a closing comment because there are young. I remember I was a teenager. It was some painful years. They're teenagers. It's some painful years trying to figure out who you are and what you're going to do. And then there's folks who are going through a divorce. There's folks who watching the show, somebody done died. Somebody got sick. Somebody lost their job. And they need to know it's going to be all right.
The only thing I can say is keep living. Keep living. When I told my son the other day I would not turn back the hands of time to be a teenager again for anything. That is one of the worst times in the world. I've experienced the death of a spouse. I've experienced divorce. I've experienced all of these things. And all of these things are going to come into our life. But if you are centered, you will be able to weather the storm. Just stay centered and know that you're never alone. And be grateful. Be grateful that it's as good as it is because your attitude of gratitude determines your latitude.